Already rolling?
Yes.
Well, as you can see, what are you looking over there for? Look at my arm. As you can see, I had some fun with some transmission fluid, but that also means that it came down. Now, to get the pan down, well, I hate to admit, I had to YouTube how to get the pan down. I wanted this whole project, as much of it as possible at least, to be us figuring out just by doing. But by golly, I tried to wiggle, jiggle, that pan down out of there any which way I could, and I just couldn't. So what you had was on one side, come on over here, I'll show you a quick reminder. We had on one side, here I'll grab that. We had on one side the exhaust, and on the other side there's the clip that retains the shift linkage. That black clip right above where the shift linkage is right there. So I had to actually bend that out of the way, and of course they couldn't have made it with softish steel. And then I had to, by following the advice of a fellow YouTuber, the other thing I did was drop the exhaust down as much as I could. I actually have a nice little piece of pine holding the grab it, holding that down. So by combining the transmission drop and bending that bracket out of the way, I had just enough room. I mean, it was sliding past to clear to get that pan down. So now that we have the pan down, you can see got a little spillage there. That's where it got on my arm. We can pull that out. I got some oak sawdust starting to dry to pull that up. We can see where the drain plug is on the other side. I might try to get that out now that we have the pan off, but we're gonna have to take this old seal off. So we're just gonna get a scraper and scrape the old seal off, and then we're gonna clean that pan up as clean as we can, and maybe even try to get that drain plug out again too, because the next time I'd really not like to drop the pan again. So the next time I might, if the truck lasts that long, I might just use the drain plug and leave the old filter in and replace the fluid. Does that make sense? Okay? All right, go ahead, pause it.
Okay.
So I've just got this draining into the oil jug here, and the big chips are actually just rust and other debris from when I took it down. But if you look right here, this is a little magnet strip. You don't have to get that close. There's a little magnet strip, and you can wipe your finger on it, and you can actually feel the little tiny bits of metal that have come off the transmission parts over the years. So that magnet strip is designed to just catch all that, and you can see some of it coming off of that magnet. So it's an old truck, old transmission. I'm not surprised to see it. I'm glad I don't see big pieces, but I'm not surprised with that either, because the truck shifted just fine. So next up, we're going to scrape this off. Pause it. Okay, so I'm actually going to use a chisel, just a regular woodworking chisel, and I don't want to gouge the aluminum on the pan, so I'll be careful to try to keep a good angle. But I'm just going to peel this old rubber gasket off. Oh yeah, it's coming nicely without gouging in, because this chisel is pretty sharp, and it would certainly gouge if I let it. What do you think of that, camera lady? Is that satisfying, watching it peel off?
Yeah.
It's nice when it comes off in big pieces. So we're just getting the big parts off. Ooh, that was nice. That one came off real easy. And then we'll go back clean up the other pieces that were stubborn that stayed on. There we go. So now we can gently get most of it off. I'm not interested actually in getting every tiny piece off with the chisel or with whatever scraper you want. You just need a relatively clean mating surface. Alright, now if you get just a little closer, I'll show you something. Come here a little closer. So all the way around you have where it's a little lower and then it goes a little high in the middle. And that just helps it make where it's not a completely smooth, even seal, because that actually leaks easier. It'll be a little tighter right in the middle along where that seal is. So that does a better job sealing it up. So what I can do now is go get some steel wool if I wanted, or better yet, like the vinyl type, and I can just see if that works a little bit. So go ahead and pause it. We'll try that. Yeah?
Sorry, recording.
Is it recording?
Yes.
So I'm just cleaning up. I actually, I'm kind of the type of person that just grabs whatever's laying around that works. And I saw this drywall screen, and I actually hit the surface with that a little bit just to get some of the debris off. It's not perfect, but I think perfection is overrated. So we just clean this up. I'm avoiding that magnetic strip right now because I really don't want to use the same rag. It's all that metal. I don't want to spread that all over the place. So I'm just wiping out the best I can, and then I'll hit that last. And then we'll see if we can get that drain plug out, which would be really nice. Now this, the truck has 186 or 187,000 miles on it. So at this point in the truck's life, odds are probably halfway decent at least that this will be the last transmission fluid change it'll need. But in case it does last, you hope it lasts longer. So if it does, we'll be able to just drain the fluid out next time rather than replacing the filter and dropping the pan, because you can see how much of a hassle that was. Or if I was to do it again, I probably would take it to the dealer. Another thing to consider is, some people say, why are you going all that trouble? Just buy a new pan. And certainly I probably could have just bought a new pan too. That would have been an option. And then, and then I could have gotten more violent with the removal too, because I wouldn't have been worried about damaging the pan. But, if you can reuse a part, hey, why not, right? All the better. So, all right, so I've got everything pretty well cleared out. So I'm going to hit that metal or magnetic strip last, and I'm just going to scrape. See all that? Going to scrape all that metal sludge off of there. Oh yeah. See that metal sludge? Oh yeah. Is that focused on it good? So get that again off of there. Oof. It's gross. And once you've got it completely cleared off, you realize that, wow, that looked like it was like ridged. That magnetic strip was ridged or something. But then when you get it cleared off, you realize, get closer, you realize that it's actually perfectly flat, but the magnetic field has ridges. So the pieces of metal clump to it that way. So get all that off of there. And once I'm done getting this, trying to get this out, I'll give the whole pan one more clean over before we put it back up. Go ahead and pause it. The drain plug is staying where it is. By golly, I am not able to get it out without damaging the pan, so I'm just going to leave it. If I really wanted to, I probably would just get a new pan. That way I could use the drain plug in the future. But as it stands, this thing's pretty old, got a lot of mileage. Now what I'm going to do is I've got the new seal, and I'm going to use a little grease because the seal is going to want to move around until I get it up in position. So this is just kind of a little something sticky that'll just help hold it in place for me until it gets bolted in or lined up. So a little bit of grease here and there, and does that make sense, camera lady?
Yeah.
It'll hold it in place for me because it's sticky.
Why is it pink?
I don't know. I guess somebody likes pink. You like pink?
Kind of.
Kind of. Is Mama's favorite color pink?
No. Her favorite colors are yellow and orange.
No, it's yellow and pink. Yeah, you can ask her later. Anyway, so just enough on there to hold it in position, or help hold it in position at least. Otherwise, it'd just be, especially in the wind today, it'd just blow around. There's no weight to it. So I've got that ready. I'm going to set that right there. And I'll actually be coming at it from the other side. So let's slide this into position so I can grab it from the other end. I also have had my bolts soaking in WD-40 just to kind of clean them up. So when I pull them out of there, they'll be a little cleaner than they started. And I'm about to head over to their side. You stay here. And I also have the new filter right here. So I'll see if I can figure out how to put that in there the right way. Now it's warmer today, but the ground's still a little chilly, so I put these little foam pads that the girls used to play on there. Could you slide that to me?
Okay.
The filter?
Can I use my feet?
Sure. Slide that to me. One more. Thank you. All right. Of course, with the wind today, I've also been getting plenty of rust and sawdust in my eyes as I've been, oh man, see, that's why you shouldn't slide it over. I gotta clear that dust off. I don't want that getting into the transmission. And of course, it wouldn't have stuck except the sawdust was busy soaking up spilled transmission fluid. So let me just wipe that off. There we go. On my leg. Again, honey, I'm not using my good clothes. These are my bad clothes, and now they're my really bad clothes. But I do really like them anyway. All right, so I'm looking here, and can you get under here? Come on, slide forward. If not, I can hold it. Here, let me grab that. So, right, oh gosh, right there is where this slides in, and there might be, nope, there's not. Okay, so the new filter just slides right into that hole. So here's again the bracket right here that I had to bend out of the way in addition to lowering the exhaust to get the pan out of there. I'm barely able to jiggle it out of there. Here you go. All right. So again, where'd I put it? There it is. Keep setting it down, getting it dirty. Now I gotta dust it off again. Not too bad this time. I don't want to put all that junk right back into a transmission I'm supposed to be cleaning out, right? Right. All right. So I'm gonna take this, see if it pushes in just so, the way it's supposed to. I guess you just pop that in there like so. I guess. Unless This piece, is this little piece supposed to go in there, you think?
Maybe.
Maybe? Is that supposed to press in with it? I don't think so. No, I don't know what that is. It came with it, but it doesn't seem like it goes there. So, whatever. So I'm just going to tap. There it goes. Did you see that? It clipped right in. I give it a little extra wrap and it pushed into there. All right, so the filter's in. And now I'm going to slide me that pan. Come on, slide me the pan. You're pulling it towards you. I need it. There we go. All right. Now this is the hard part. Getting it back in after it took all that trouble to get it out. And hopefully keep the seal in the right place. I don't know how that's going to work out. So, try to be as gentle as I can here. Get it back in position. Oh, come on, almost. Oh, it slipped out. That same problem with that same clip. It's still in the way. And there's the seal. See the seal coming loose from where I had it? So now I got to try to fix that. How many times am I going to have to go through this monkey business? Hopefully 2. So, all right, let's try this again. And I guess try to get under this thing first. That ain't going to work. That is not going to work. So you can see how this is going to go. I'm going to end up getting it in, but it's not going to be with the seal in place. So I'm going to have to get it in, then I'm going to have to jiggle the seal into place most likely. That first attempt was the best, but I still had to get by this clip, so I think I might just do that. All right, so it's past the clip now. So then, I just got, you think that's funny? I just got to line those back up, those holes on the gasket back up. And again, that's why I had that grease on there, and it is helping for sure to keep it from moving around as much. That's pretty close. All right, so now what I need is a couple of those bolts. So go ahead and set the phone down, or you can go ahead and pause it. All right, so I've got it back under here, and I'm just gonna see if I can get a couple of these bolts started. I really like using just your fingers at first. That way you're less likely to get them threaded wrong and then end up stripping anything. So, get that up there. And of course, you got to push through, so you got to push and turn through the rubber gasket. And then if you feel any resistance, if it's too much, you're probably going in at an angle. There it goes. So I backed out, got going again, and it was going easy. It should always go easy when you're threading bolts. If it's not, you should try again. Pull it out. Make sure you're going in straight. Shouldn't have a ton of resistance. And then see if I can. And the gasket's really doing I should say the grease is really doing a good job holding the gasket in place. Of course, then you get in an awkward position, you have to adjust a little bit. So if you want, you can go ahead and pause that video and we'll start up again when I'm getting ready to tighten. So what I'm doing is getting these bolts in. Only got a couple more, and I won't tighten any of them, not even a little bit, until all the bolts are in. Because if I tighten them, any of them, that rubber seal won't want to move if I need it to. And it'll move just a little bit on its own and find, the right spot. So I'm just putting them in, not even finger tight. I'm just putting them in enough to get the gasket all in the right spot. So I'm just pushing it in through the seal, and I can feel it grabbing through the seal, and then as soon as it's grabbing in the metal, I take my ratchet and I get it not tight, not even a little tight, just up so it's holding that pan up to the transmission. And once I have all those in this way, see, there's not enough resistance even for the ratchet mechanisms to work, so then you got to put your hand back there to keep it from spinning. But once you get them all in place and you're satisfied that the gasket's up there right and all the bolts are in, then what you're going to do is you're going to just pick a spot. Well, if I start on this corner, I'll very gently tighten this one down. Again, like on this, at this time it'd be like snug, not even tight at all. And then I'd go to the opposite corner, and then I'd go to this corner, and then I'd go to this corner. Kind of the same way you do with lug nuts on a tire. You're gonna alternate sides, and then once they're all snug, then you can go to each corner alternately and torque them down. Okay, so you can go and pause it, and we'll wait till then. All right. So I'm starting with the bolt by the shift linkage bracket. I actually used that special socket again to get on there because of the angle. And then, so since I started there, I'm going to go opposite, and I'm going to snug it down. I'm not going to go crazy, just snug. German specs, I guess, right? Guten tight. I'm also, I'm not going to be breaking out a manual. I didn't buy a manual. I know. But that's kind of the whole point with this project truck, is just kind of have fun. And even though I don't always sound like I'm having fun, right? Camera lady? I get frustrated. But you know what? Once you're done and you've figured it out, with limited help, I did watch that one YouTube video that suggested, hey, lower the daggone exhaust. You don't have to take it off completely. At least you get a little clearance. So that helped. And when you do as much you can by yourself, there's just some satisfaction there. Could I have taken this to either the dealer, or could I have taken it to an auto shop that has a lift, and they'd have this job done? If they knew the tricks, they probably would have had it done in a quarter of the time at the most. And I'm laying on my back here on the ground, and I'm cursing, and off camera, of course, right? And trying to figure things out and calling GM engineers stupid and all those things. I'm sure they got reasons for what they do, but I don't know. I feel like they could have put this exhaust where it crosses over other places. They decided to put it here.